Okay, this is an old topic, but recently on message boards has been coming up a lot more often. Facebook this, Twitter that. Should we have armed teachers? Now I'm going to say no, but I am going to explain myself. Now there were a couple of school shootings in the immediate aftermath of the Sandy Hook massacre. One, the intruder got past the gate. Another, we had a black female sheriff's deputy who was assigned there by the sheriff. She stopped the guy killing at the door. And a couple more I don't know anything about really. They were, and private armed guards killed the intruders at the door. Now, if the intruder is successful, it's all been fucking news. If the intruder is stopped by an armed guard, armed police officer, you gotta have a fucking research analysis find the news for you. Okay, it's at the bottom of page 97 of a paper no one reads. Now, some police departments are large enough to accommodate one full-fledged police officer per school. And a lot of times, a lot of inner cities put the police officers in the gangbanger schools because they're not afraid of an armed intruder coming in. They're afraid of the drugs and the gangs in the school. Now, a while ago, a woman ran for mayor. She got knocked out of the primary. Vincenza Rustiano. Vinnie Rustiano. Okay, she was knocked out of the primary. In fact, my father and I were monitoring our polling station for her. My entire neighborhood, she got 4 votes in the primary. We ended up going to her house to tell the news. She was fucking pissed. So she was knocked out of the primary. She said if she had been elected mayor, she would have put a cop in every school. If you watch the HBO show, Show Me a Hero, she's played by Winona Ryder. She was a Democrat many years ago, and then she became a Republican. Okay, she's since retired from public service. You don't really see her anymore. Now, there are several ways to approach this. Okay, first and foremost, you can have a full-fledged police officer active duty in the school. That's their job. They work school days. They're off when school is out. Well, they work school days. They have to work school days, and their off-duty days Saturday and Sunday. How nice is that? Yeah. You're a police officer and your off-duty days are Saturday and Sunday forever. And if they have any vacation time, they take that vacation time during the summer. And during the summer, when they're not having their vacation time, they do patrol or some shit because a police officer is a 12-month job. And school is a 10-month thing. Okay? But while school is in session, they have to be in the school. Now, another approach would be some police officers retire from the department and they want to come back to work. An example of that would be one of our police commissioners from several years ago, Police Commissioner Cola. He was commissioner several years ago. You'll see him also in the HBO Show Me a Hero. An actor playing him makes like a 2-second appearance in the first episode. He actually came out of retirement to be the head of security for our casino and racetrack over here. So a lot of police officers will come out of retirement to do security, bodyguard work, bail bonds, sell alarm systems, do a security consultation. Okay, then you have other resources such as the military. A lot of military veterans, because of the constant deployments for the global war on terrorism, have extensive experience with combat, with fully automatic weapons fire, with rocket attacks, bombings, okay, infantry, artillery, special operations, combat medics, okay. They have a lot of extensive experience, and they have since retired from the military or been discharged from the military, and a lot of them are my age, 34, 35, under 40. And they could also come out of their retirement, and they could actually take a special 10-month job where they might work for the schools, or like me, they might work for the police department. And they might have a special gig where they're hired from September to June, and then there's somebody to do what they want. Okay, they would be special security contractors, kind of like the guys in Benghazi. They were military veterans who came out of retirement to do security work for the government. Only instead of protecting the ambassador in a foreign country, they would be protecting the school children of their hometown. Okay, and they can pick out their own gun, they can get their own training. They already have a lot of training, but they can be certified. All it will take is a background check and a police psychological report. They've already gone through basic training or officer candidate school or special forces school or infantry schools or airborne schools or okay, they've already done a lot of that stuff already. So they can just put the key in the door and walk right in. Okay, or the other idea would be to hire anybody that has an armed guards license to do security work at the school. Now, obviously, if you have a case of jackbooted thugs, armed thugs, that are dragging kids out of class because they didn't do their homework, that's going to create a very, very serious social problem. So I would recommend that the regular school security and regular school administrators deal with problems. Now, obviously, if the armed guard walks into the bathroom and sees the kid smoking a cigarette, he's going to bring the kid to the office. But as far as actively pursuing delinquent kids, as far as actively removing people from classrooms, the regular administrators, regular security would handle that, and the armed officer would only handle the extremely serious problems. The guy in school with the drugs, an armed intruder, okay, a gang fight in the school. The armed guard would only handle the most severe problems. Now, the reason why I say no to the teachers is several-fold. I'll explain. Are you aware what a union is? You might live in a town in the middle of nowhere where there are no unions. Okay, you come to work and get paid, that's it. But unions are organizations, for those that don't know, of workers. They have the Carpenters Union. They have the Food Workers Union. They have the Screen Actors Guild Union. They have the Firemen's Union, the Police Union, okay? The Social Workers Union, the bread baker. There's a union for everything in this world, okay? Now, I had a so-called union when I was working in a supermarket. That was a real piece of shit job, okay? If I had a problem with a manager, they didn't give a shit. Never once returned a phone call, nothing. It should be noted that a guy, they used to have a night crew. There was a guy, night crew is, they don't have any more, but night crew was, the store was open from 7 a.m. to midnight. Night crew comes in at 11:30 p.m. and leaves 7:30 the next morning. So they're there a half hour before the store closes and a half hour after it opens. They restock the shelves and stuff. There was a guy on night crew, his brother was head of security. And he told me that his brother caught a guy in the deli stealing 3 times. Caught him in the deli stealing, reported him to the manager fired him, union threatened to sue the company to get his job back. So he would be caught stealing, fired, union would attempt to sue, give him his job back, fired again for stealing. Okay? So a lot of times you got a union that's a real piece of shit union. Example, in Chicago, most students in Chicago are functionally illiterate. Yet because of the teachers union, they cannot be fired. Okay? Now, a lot of teachers unions have a really nasty stranglehold on the community. Okay? You got teachers making a lot of money and not doing any work. And then again, you got one teacher who's making very little money and doing a lot of work. Okay? Now, if you were to tell the teachers in the big cities to carry a gun to work, first and foremost, not every teacher has a gun in the house. Not every teacher knows how to use a gun. So if you were to tell the teachers union, okay, teachers got to bring guns to school to protect the kids now. Here's the problem. The teachers union will tell the teachers that A, the taxpayers have to pay for the licensing. You know, CCW license, handgun license, whatever you call your handgun license. Okay, CCW license, whatever. Okay, CHL, like whatever you want to call it. They would say, okay, because the teachers are being required to protect the students, it's up to the taxpayers to foot the bill for the license, whatever that is. Okay. Also, you need classroom training. Once again, taxpayers have to foot the bill. Also, you need training on the range, live fire training. Could be a half hour, it could be 40 hours of actual live drills on the range with an instructor. Guess what? Taxpayers got to pay for that. Also, because the teacher is doing this for work, guess what? The union is going to demand that the teachers attend the classes and get paid for it. So the teacher will go teach from Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday they'll go to the range to be instructed for firearms use and be paid for it, full salary. Okay? And you got 2,000 teachers in your city. Okay? Now, the guns themselves. City high-ranking officials, the police commissioner, the fire commissioner, the mayor, the chief of staff, the deputy mayor, the director of whatever the hell, the superintendent of schools, okay? High-ranking officials in many cities get a car from the city. We had an incident. It's not anywhere near as bad as it is now. It's calmed down now. But we had an incident a decade and a half ago, where the mayor would tell all of his cabinet workers, the high-ranking guys, you get a free car. And they'd pick out the car they wanted. Mercedes, BMW. We had a superintendent of schools a couple of years ago. He ended up being dismissed. He had an SUV, I think it was a Ford Expedition, with all the trimmings, $900 a month lease, taxpayer funded. Okay, plus they get special credit cards to buy gas at the taxpayer's expense. Okay, now imagine that with the teachers. Okay, you might get a teacher that says, I like Glock, I'm going to buy a Glock. I like M&P, I'm going to buy an M&P. I like 1911 Commander, GI, bullshit, whatever. Get that, okay? But you'll have these teachers that will be like, okay, I like Wilson Combat, okay? And I'll get a Wilson Combat, which is a base price of $4,000, plus with all the added trimmings in it, it's going to be $7,000. I need a holster too to carry it in, okay? My holster was made by elves in a magic tree out of leather from animals that are now extinct. Okay? The teachers union will tell the city to pay for all the training, all the licensing, and the gun, and the holster, and the magazines, and the ammunition. And they'll really start to drain on the city. You'd be surprised. Okay? Oh, that's not a big deal. Okay, it's only a one-time thing. Okay. How about this? Because the teachers have two jobs now. The teacher's job is now A, teacher, and B, armed security guard. Guess what? 2 paychecks. The unions will demand 2 paychecks. I'm not even fucking joking with you. Okay? So you got a teacher making $40,000 a year. Okay? Because she carries a gun now, you paid for the gun, you paid for the holster, you paid for the ammo, you paid for the license, you paid for the training, and you got to add another $15,000 to her salary just because she's carrying the gun. Okay? It's so much easier to hire 1 or 2 guys per school that are professionals, that know what they're doing, whose sole job is only that. And he or she, the armed guard, might be outside the school because you don't want to have kids afraid of armed officers walking the halls. They're not used to that sort of thing. The armed guard might be on the outside of the school, walking the perimeter, and only come in to use the bathroom. And be like the unseen figure guarding the perimeter. And he or she will only come in when they're called. Okay? So I think the teachers union, if you have a teacher that is a military veteran and they know what they're doing, and they're willing to bring a gun to school to protect the kids and not charge extra money for it, fine, okay? We had one of my professors in WCC. He was a retired detective. He was the head of the criminal justice program. And the college president said to him, you know what? I want you to carry your gun to school. He said, I don't want to do that. I told him, I said, you're crazy. I would have done it. Now, in New York State, in order for you to carry a gun to school, the only thing you need is to have the school's permission written. So if you have an elementary school, the superintendent of schools can hire me to protect that elementary school with a gun. And all he's got to do is sign the form saying Vinny is going to protect the school with a gun. Okay? The college, there's a celebrity on campus. Celebrity has a bodyguard. The college president signs a form saying the celebrity's bodyguard can now carry a gun on campus. That's all you need. You only need the written permission of the head of the school. If you don't have the written permission of the head of the school, you're in trouble, but that's all you need. So just have a professional that knows what they're doing do that job as opposed to the teachers. Because the last thing you want to do is have the teachers union say, oh, wait a minute, I'm seeing dollar signs now. Okay, so try that instead of teachers union. Okay, let me know what you think. Comment below. Alright, thank you.